Happy Monday. Good morning, everyone. I'm just getting started. Hope you all had a great weekend. I didn't actually do much this weekend in terms of reverb. Let's clean up a couple of these. What is the IDE? This is Cursor. It's based on Visual Studio, and I'm using the Challenger Deep theme. Good morning. Oh, there's an update. So the version I'm on is 48.8. Okay. And let's give it a restart. I also usually have it in full screen. Mismatch types. It's okay. And these are all just to-dos, right? Oh, this is our new test section. So page would go into pages. There. That's better. This is a decimal constant. Zero prefixed literal. Yes, look at that. Okay. That's much more reasonable. Let's see, committing the database state. When we go to commit the database state, what are we looking to do? Where are we being called from? I made a couple of changes. Okay, so a couple places from test code, and then just one place, just where we are. Yeah, that makes sense. So commit database state. Does this ever need to be able to support the option here? DB info at checksum. Here we're saying, hey, give me the database info, and this is my checksum, and I want the database, all the information at this checksum for this shard, this database name, this checksum. But here, DB checksum in this type here is just to reduce complexity of this call. So I think this DB checksum for option should not be an option. We should get rid of that. So when would you ever ask for the DB info where it doesn't have a checksum? I don't think that exists. Fox, yeah, doing well. I feel like I'm finally over my cold, which is nice. The whole day job thing is still crazy stressful, and well, trying to get an hour of kind of relaxing coding in before I start the day. So database state. Huh. I know. Let's go back. Same as always. Yeah. Sad but true. Sad but true. Yeah. I always kind of look around, just stay current with the market and all that. You hear from friends that the market's really hard, it's tight, there aren't that many jobs, whatever. I've got a couple friends that are looking. And I saw something this weekend that I was like, hey, that looks like wow, did that go really, really loud? That seemed odd. It does seem like it might be a little loud today. Maybe it's just because I've gotten a little better. Huh. Yeah. I don't know. But yeah, I was looking and thought that job that pays way less than what I'm getting right now looks so much more fun. It got me to this point where I was like, well, how much is stress worth? You know? It's like I can do that in my sleep, and it looks like it'd be on a fun team, fun projects. I don't know. Drop the volume a little bit because I feel like I was topping out the volume. How about there? Test. Okay, maybe we'll see. There we go. I don't know what changed really. 'Cause I haven't really I didn't do streaming all weekend. Hmm. I wonder if it ended up on the wrong input. Let me check something. Testing. Hey, test. Oh, I'll bet I had it on this input last week, which is why I'd cranked the volume up. Oh. It must have somehow gotten onto the wrong input. Yeah. Yeah, I think I had mistakenly switched inputs last week. I think it might still be a little loud. Hmm. Yeah, I switched back to my studio mic. I've got an Audio Technica 2035 here, and it does pretty well. I'm going to keep dropping the volume just a little bit more. I feel like I'm heading to the red on this. Let me find my filters. Testing, testing. Okay, there we go. Whoa! Okay, yeah. Just trying to test some volume. There you go. I hope you all had a great weekend. Okay, well, here we go. I hope this is okay. We'll see how we go. So in this case, we ask for database information. DB checksum key, we get that back. Committing the database state. Database info checksum. Interesting. Should we be? Maybe I was just wrong. Okay, so we're committing the database state to the database. I think that we should be able to commit to the database this as an option, marking it as none. Yes, okay, that's better. So when we're committing the streamed database transactions, if that is none, database info at checksum. Yeah, what do we do for database info at checksum? So this stores what? Key for accessing database information at a specific checksum. Do we just skip that? Because we don't have a checksum? I think that's pretty accurate. We should probably just skip this because there is no checksum. The database state key, however, should be committed with a none. Which means that we wouldn't do this whole section to here. Pop that in if. Thank you, cursor. Wonder what version we're on now. Yeah, 48.9. We're on the bleeding edge beta. Okay. So that issue's fixed. See, I don't like comments that explain what. I want comments that explain why. And I think with cursor we can try to influence it. So cursor settings. We'll go to our rules. I have this rule here. Understand the project architecture. Okay. When commenting, explain commenting inside of a function. Explain why, not how. Explain. Hmm. I love that we can use LLMs to configure LLMs. There we go. Okay, good. I like it. Also, let's focus on. All right. Let's see. Include. Right code that is obvious. All right. And let's see. Let's come back. Where had we been? Not there, not there. Oh, yes. Here. So that's not quite like it's correct, but it's not the sort of comment I'm looking for. Um, all right. What's it say? Store a mapping from database checksum to transaction ID, enabling lookups by database checksum. This allows efficient. Sure. Just testing out the AI configuration beds. It's like, okay, that's not telling us what we're doing, but it's telling us why we're doing it, which I like. Okay. It is a little redundant because this information is elsewhere, but I'm okay with it being in more than one place. And that one's fixed. Set database checksum. Ah, yes. We're down to the hard one. So process transaction stream. We get to here. We set the database checksum, which might not actually be something. Because as we're coming through and we're processing the transaction checksum, okay, if the first chunk that we process does not have a database checksum, it's gone, right? Like the database is deleted. If the database is deleted, do we need to loop over the rest of the chunks? That doesn't make sense, does it? If we ever get to the point where database checksum is none, we're we're finished with it. Like we can stop processing it. Anything past would be an error. Yeah. Okay. So those chunks. Oh, that is insanely unhelpful. Okay. This is good. We throw an error if it doesn't have a transaction ID. We get a timestamp. I feel like this should be in like a utility function somewhere. So I think we have this in more than one place now. We should have our little grab bag of Rust utilities. Is there not some way to get that? Fine. It just feels like this pattern would be so common that there would be a way, like just some someplace in the standard library that does the unwrap, that does the as seconds, and just gives you the seconds since the Unix epoch, or since, what is it, January 1st, 1970. So we get our timestamp, create an archive transaction ID, which is different than our other transaction IDs. We have our state. We get our first transaction chunk. We can move the state down. We get the database state, the current initial state. Option to an option here. And V at this point is database state. I want to flatten that. For set database checksum. Yeah, I don't like that I changed this to be optional. Really, we just need to set the database page. Like, or not even the page. Mm, maybe okay. I feel like there was a problem later in this. TV checksum, incorporate page checksum. Yes, and at this point we did account for none. So this DB checksum isn't coming from the request, which where I thought it was coming from. It's coming from the initial database state. So if we didn't have a database state, Yes, okay. Nope, this code is correct. I understand now. So we set the transaction state. Yeah. Why is first page unused? Oh, because we used to default to the checksum of the first page. Right. Why did we do that? That just got moved down. So we used to use the first page in here. So we'd take the initial database state or the first page. But I think this is more correct because at the moment, a request comes in, we don't know about the database. We say, hey, this thing is none here. Fine. We start iterating through the pages. Incorporate the current page checksum from the page. And here we're looking at chunk. Chunk comes from. Yeah, we do not need this here. Fine. Shift Apple M. I want these always sorted by. View as a table. Oh, that's not bad. Code. Lots of codes, no errors. Warnings, errors, info. Okay. Associated news. Never used. Okay. We'll get there. We'll get there. Click through a lot of things. Okay. Keep going back. And blah, blah, blah. There it was. Is this it? Yeah. Process transaction stream. Okay. Get rid of that. Great. Come back to the terminal. Lovely. Ah, map flatten. It should be a flat map. So, I don't know this one. What's this one? Oh, this is open. Hmm. Clippy rules. Clippy lens. Oh, hello. Hey, you know what? If we did a, what in the world? There we go. Let's come back to the code. There it is. Okay. Complex type. Yes, yes. Async function. It's wrong. I mean, maybe it's not wrong, but oh, here it is. I want to learn this one. Try replacing map with and then and remove the flatten. Huh. Well, let's practice using and then. So, and then, what do you do? Returns none if the option is none, otherwise calls F with wrapped value and returns the result. Oh, okay. I like and then. Wonder where else I'm doing that. First page missing is never constructed. Yep, we got rid of that. Good. Stream is never read. We'll get there. We're not there yet. That's what we're trying to get to. Database transaction send and database lifecycle events send are never used. Okay. Let's give it a test. It's going to take a moment. So this weekend we cleaned up the yard. It was good. Cooked up some s'mores, which was awesome. Let's see what else. It was nice spending some time out in some sunny weather this weekend. It was really nice. We ended up picking up a lot of sticks just from the. I dropped a bunch of trees for the garden area, and I left a bunch of sticks behind. So I think we got goodness, 4.5 tractor buckets worth of sticks picked up, which is nice. It was also nice. I slept really well this last night. Cold, I think, is finally nearly there. Like, very nearly done with it. I'm feeling much better. How was your weekend? Let's see, I'm setting my watch up to charge here. There we go. What was that? 7%. Ooh, no variant. What? First page missing. Oh, yes. Good, good. Finish. Come to the second one. Okay, one failed. That's fine. Close the terminal. I want to keep the terminal open. Oh, I see. Focus active editor group. That's nice. Note the key combination suggested here. No. Built in as default. Okay. Oh, well. Well, it closes it. I don't want it to close it. I do want that though. That opens additional ones. That toggles it. Hmm. Okay. Gogger test. One still fails. Good. Yes. Test record transaction. Happy path. I don't know that this was ever working. So record transaction request. We get a response. On the left, the length is 3 because apparently we have metadata. Let's see, what is this response? Thank you. Oh, interesting. That's just fine. Okay, this isn't a good test. Basically, what is it that we're expecting from the response to inner? I mean, this isn't going to do what I want, but sure, remove debug. This here is wrong. It's essentially just, as I was suggesting, transaction result. This is the expected response. This would be a success. Okay. Now, what we did not do though is check to see if TIKV, or rather SLED, and Piggy received the streamed information. What is this? Okay, we made it further through our initial test and failed here. Mismatch times. Huh. Why wasn't that caught earlier? Oh. Doc tests. Lovely. Okay. That's so awesome. Okay, I got about 5 more minutes here for the stream. Okay. I think we made some progress. Um, all the tests passed, and we had a couple of very important changes. Yeah, lots of little changes here, mostly because of the changes to the protofiles. So here, this start DB checksum is actually optional now. Because when you have just created a database and you're sending it to data archive, there was no previous checksum. And we have the checksum of the page data, but the database itself didn't exist, so there was nothing there. And this here, same sort of change. Now we can actually respond with there being nothing. Or rather, the database being in a deleted state. And the rest of these changes should be fallout from that. Um, okay. Well, for the next couple minutes, I'm just going to take a peek at this stuff. I think this file's fine. Mutate's fine. Actually, I should close that. Let's go to replicate. Oh, that was not mutate. Okay. Test context. Yep, that cleanup's fine. Anything else? Options and more options. Fine. Checksum is now allowed to be 0, or sorry, 0 none. You're good. Mod. This comment on green is horrid. That seems okay for now. Some, yep. Now it's an option that needed to be updated. Okay. Into error meta. Ah, yes, because we want to return some metadata in case of an error. But if the actual checksum doesn't exist, we can't actually return it. So we're just omitting it. Option now. Okay. Set DB checksum. We now take an option. And here we adjusted this. What if there's something extra here? What if it was... This is correct. Okay. Looks good. Context. Brand new file for testing. Not going to look too closely on that one. This one, though, did change, and I care more about making sure I didn't break anything. This is good. Iggy. A bunch of to-dos. And that'll need to be done later. Piggy. Piggy's got some to-dos as well. That's fine. Piggy. What else? We have DB. Sync databases. Okay. Yes. So we now handle the deletion of a database. Yep, I already read that. Okay. This could be a much lighter green. Yep. Jackson. Yep. That's good. What is this? Gauntlet ended. Happy path. Yeah, no. I remember this. This I'm going to revert. Clippy fixes. Clippy and Clippy. It's fine. That is all of our changes. Let's go ahead and add that. That's just commented out. All right. Right. Well, that's good. I'm gonna get going, y'all. Gonna close that back there. Let's figure out who we're gonna raid. Let's raid Tom. All right, y'all. Till next time. Take care.